Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at TIE Fighter Collector CD-ROM Edition. So this is the CD-ROM version of TIE Fighter. The audio will be a little bit different, there'll be more talking, I'm sure. The graphics might be slightly better, and hopefully it has more actual levels in it. Now, this is attempt number 5 as far as trying to play the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter series. So, I think maybe, just maybe, in this one, I might actually be able to play the game and get all the way through one level. This intro seems to be, for the most part, the same as the previous TIE Fighter intro. The graphics are very low resolution, but the resolution actually in this game is higher than X-Wing. Like, this is doing 640 by 480 in the settings, or at least it should be. We'll look at that when we get to the options. You can see here there's still not any talking happening here, but you're getting more sound effects. There was something else. Yeah.
The Empire is on the verge of success.
This was voiced in the previous version.
Peace and order will be restored.
Maybe this wasn't.
The galaxy. Even
those
now,
guys in
our
red,
capable forces,
they never get
led
any
by
backstory.
Darth Vader, are striking back at the rebel insurgents.
Yeah. Like, oh, I was gonna mention
are unprepared
that
for our attack. Signal by
this is probably new. Also, unlike X-Wing, which got 2 expansions before
rebel stronghold has no hope
before
of
the
escape.
CD-ROM collection was made.
Commence the attack.
TIE Fighter only got 1 expansion, and then the CD-ROM collection is like a year older. So I think we're in 1995 territory now. So it's a lot of production, certainly. The series was probably in development, if I was to guess, for 3, 4, maybe even 6 to 8 years before even X-Wing 1 came out. If that's not the case, then LucasArts worked very fast to create so much of this game. And that animation seems even faster than before. They were probably very proud of the fact that that animation was moving fast. I don't think we need to skip to watch all the credits, though. This is crazy, frankly, to be moving at such a slow pace to get somebody into a game. Now, they still haven't figured out how to save the settings on the joystick, and I think that's probably because back in the day, back in 1995, your joystick probably is so irregular that you need to center it and calibrate it every single time you launch the game.
Enter your name, pilot.
That is certainly new. We have a fully voiced section there. They'll still threaten to shoot you and stop you if you try to not enter your name. So now the CD-ROM Collector's Edition has a 640 by 480 setting. I've turned on subtitles. It saves the sound files and applied that at the menu at the beginning, which is nice. We could click on Top Ace 10 now, and we could see he has like 1.6 million medal points, but he has no training certificates. And let's see how many battles there are now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there was about 12 in the original game, so Yeah, this seems just to be 10. Interesting. And so I don't understand what the expansion adds to this. Let's try this again. Well, how do you type? I guess. There we go. And then when I type in my name, it wants to move back to medium instead of easy. And I think if I have any chance of actually succeeding, it needs to be on this. So we still have the film room. Let's see, there's nothing here to see in the film room. It's the same thing, it just plays replays. We have the tech room, and the tech room seems like it's a collection of ships, so maybe the expansion just added more ships. That is a possibility. Or not all of these are really ships per se, they're just 3D models. You could definitely see how you could make this an iterative process and create these 3D models and then just copy and paste those 3D models to the next game and use them in the next game and then use them in the next game, just making slight smoothing alterations as the technology got better. There really have never been a lot of large jumps in video technology after a certain point. Consoles jump in video technology because you go from a console that maybe lasts 8 to 10 years to new technology that's standardized from 8 to 10 years in the future. So something like an NES to a Super NES is definitely a noticeable change, and something from a Super NES to a Nintendo 64 is a big change. But beyond that point, you've got not a big jump PC wise, just small iterative changes every year. The only big jump I would say that really happens is when you start getting to the point where processors stop becoming an issue. So you're talking Pentium 2s, Pentium 3s, and then you get to DirectX 9, and then DirectX 9 A, B, and C, and then DirectX 10. And then, in all honesty, a jump up to DirectX 11 or DirectX 12, I don't even know if DirectX 12 exists, because it's become so unimportant these days. This looks like the exact same training courses, so there's nothing new there. The next big thing after DirectX would be, some might argue, OpenGL. Like, OpenGL helped a little bit, and iterations on the ideas of an open graphics language probably made sense. This seems all to be the same missions too. But then the most recent thing from NVIDIA is like ray tracing, and ray tracing is not efficient enough to really use in any games, and because it's kind of its own thing, it really won't get adopted. Before ray tracing, there was a there was a system of NVIDIA Hairworks and NVIDIA FabricWorks, but that's really what it boiled down to, is that we eventually realized, oh yeah, rendering hair on characters that looks realistic is really, really hard. Rendering fabric that moves realistically, NVIDIA PhysX and stuff like that, like, those are the tiny little iterations that have been added to graphic cards. And unfortunately, ATI didn't have such a forward-looking ideas as far as PC. That's why it's almost ridiculous to suggest to buy an AMD graphics card or use Intel integrated graphics or use an ATI video card, which AMD bought ATI. So this seems different. Pursue rebels fleeing from Hoth. So these missions are straight different. And let's see, Battle for Mission 1. So how do you play the previous missions? They must just be all integrated into the game, or they're just gone. Like, see, this is confusing. Like, what if I wanted to play the levels from the previous game? Is there some weird install I have to do? Because yeah, there's nothing here. Interesting. So yeah, ATI makes these little changes, and that is kind of that. But I would also argue that
one TIE fighter from Alpha, Beta, and Gamma squadrons will be out on patrol around outpost D34. Your mission is to inspect all cargo-carrying vessels as they pass by our station.
Oh. So this is the same level. We are on the lookout for
rebel forces that are fleeing from their base on Hoth. One TIE fighter from Alpha, Beta, and Gamma squadrons will be out on patrol around outpost D34.
I have to kind of figure out what this is. And so let's see if there's voice acting here.
You are to inspect all cargo-carrying vessels that pass through this area. To accomplish this, target each freighter and transport. Then fly close enough for your ship's sensors to determine what cargo the vessel has on board.
And Fabric Works and all, and RTX.
Screen,
a lot of that stuff's not adapted. Whereas ATI in the background actually did have a much bigger effect, I think, on graphics, because ATI has managed to be the graphics card driver for the most recent generations of Xbox One and Switch. Well, the Switch is the NVIDIA Tegra graphics card, I think, yeah. But Xbox One and PS4 are both ATI graphics drivers, so they're setting the standard for what people who are developing for console first are making. And let's face it, most people are developing for console first, even if they are releasing a game on PC.
Freighter traffic has been above normal in this area. We think this is related to the retreat of rebel forces in the aftermath of our attack on their base on Hoth.
Of course, the fact that I'm just talking about graphics has gotten me more nostalgic than this game has. So this is that same level, and we're just going to see if I can actually do it this time. I think the graphics look a little bit better. Here, let's
incoming ships. They are entering the area near point B18.
Oops. So immediately, this still has that same problem where you come back into the secondary menu. Clearly, it's a completely different collection of code. And mouse is not working here, and joystick doesn't work here. So you have to use a keyboard. Alright.
TIE Fighter Alpha 1, inspect all craft. Freighters requesting permission to pass through this sector. Transports requesting permission to pass through this sector.
Okay. So this freighter here. Alright, so we need to match speed with this and slow down when we get to it. The graphics look nice. You know what's missing here Oh, there it is. A distance meter. That's exactly what I was looking for on the screen. Is, yeah, I really can't tell how close I am unless I have a distance meter here. Let's go here. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna try and target this guy. There we go. Match speed with target. And G is our goals. And space bar does nothing, in case that was the thought. I am in line with this. Question is, how do I inspect? Right. I can try and speed up to get closer. Alright, we actually did it. So, UNC2, where are you? Directly behind me. And over here. So you have to get pretty close. On C3 is directly behind me. So there's no inspection animation or anything, but we are getting sound effects. On C3, just, I guess. On C4 now. Fly upward.
Warning. Illegal cargo located on one of the freighters.
Let's see.
Imperial transports are being dispatched to board the freighter.
So I'm like really close behind in this guy. It says food stuff in the lower left-hand corner. Did I inspect this, or are we down to something else now?
Alpha 1, help the transports weaken the freighter's shields.
Mission updated.
The incoming shuttles have not identified themselves. Some crowd have slipped by you without being inspected. Return to base. All TIE fighters, beware of enemy shuttles.
So I think I failed. I think I failed probably because I didn't move fast enough, or because I was supposed to inspect things. Alright, on C5.
Alpha 1, this is Zeta 1. Target destroyed. Target disabled.
So I've spent so much time trying to inspect this, like, these really are levels that I think you're...
Alpha 1, this is Gamma 1. Target destroyed.
This really is a case of where you're gonna have to know exactly what's gonna happen, and I doubt it changes.
Begin capture operation.
Alright, so food stuff. So troopers in Sigma 1, Sigma 2, no cargo. Shuttle.
Mission of failure.
So yeah, I failed.
Some craft have slipped by you without being inspected. Return to base.
So
capture operation complete. Excellent work, Alpha 1. Secondary mission objectives completed. The Emperor will be pleased.
Good work. The second wave of freighters was inspected. More importantly, we have captured the rebel freighter.
So did we do it? Or did we not do it?
Protect the captured freighter.
And see, I don't even know how to get up to full power, because I never figured that out. So I can only go to 2/3 power. See, shield. We have no shield deflector enabled. So are we supposed to be destroying this?
This is Yavin 1. Target destroyed.
Alright. So we have a nav buoy, a couple nav buoys. We have a TIE fighter, and...
Mission of failure.
So I don't know if I was supposed to protect that shuttle or if
Some craft have slipped by you without being inspected. Return to base.
Yeah, so I probably was shooting at the wrong people. And this moved really, really fast.
This is Yavin 1. Target destroyed.
Activate tractor beam. Okay. So here we are. Again, we tried that same level. And it's definitely playable by kind of a modern standard. We failed the primary goal of the transport group data being inspected. So there was this whole second transport group that we should have inspected first before we had done the freighter group, which I guess moved slower. I guess that would make sense if I had time to think about it. And then we captured freighter on C3, and I don't see anything here talking about the shuttles being destroyed, so I think I probably blew up things that I wasn't supposed to do. So you're still really having the same problem. Like, the game's not holding your hand for the first mission, telling you what to do. You're even though we're getting feedback, that there's some generic feedback like, yes, the shuttle's been captured. Yes, the shuttle's been destroyed. Yes, you've inspected this and that. We need a more natural language trainer or someone to tell you, right now, you need to do this and only this. And even if you do the tutorial for the combat tutorial and the fly around tutorials that teach you these steps to complete an entire action, because this is one of those games where it is multiple steps to complete an entire action, you're not getting the actions told to you in the main game. So let's see how this goes. We could fly the mission again, we're not going to, or we could talk to the flight officer. Let's see. Battle. And so you're not getting any of this talk to you, obviously. Primary mission was a failure. Laser hits 48 of 59%, so 81% hit rates. Ion rate and warhead hits were 0 of 0. Let's see, so how do we move page forward? You just click on any of this. One of the 2 primary goals were completed, all the secondary goals are completed. Ships destroyed by the player was the Tudrian shuttle. Ships lost was 1 TIE fighter. Ships captured was 1 freighter. What extra did we accomplish?
We captured a freighter full of rebels trying to escape from the planet Hoth. Hoth, a nearby ice planet, was the main base of the rebels. The recent Imperial attack on this base has driven their forces into flight.
This does feel like this is based off of
prisoners should help us track
episode 5 movie, if I was to guess.
Just inspect the freighters and transports and avoid any dogfighting. During inspections, slow your craft down.
So this is basically telling you instructions you can't see until you fail the first time.
Your small TIE fighter cannot survive this type of collision.
Let's see. This is the debrief. So you have to return to the briefing, and let's see, if I hit escape right now, it doesn't let me see anything. And I guess you have to beat the primary missions to get any medals, because otherwise I feel like I should have gotten the medal for doing all the secondary quests. Let's try something here. If we were to access this and we're ranked general, maybe this is why they put in these save files, so that you can access different levels. Like, training wise, it seems like it's the exact same levels. So I bet the combat chamber is exactly the same too. Now, wasn't it in part the idea that the clone troopers had some knowledge implanted genetically? I don't know if that was ever canon or not. So you wouldn't really need to do any of this? Okay, so you see, this starts with a Battle 11 this time, and I guess that's where the new story would be. Let's just see what the quest would really be on this. What's the objective of this
You are
mission?
to intercept a convoy detected in the area where former Admiral Zarin was last headed. Destroy all enemy combatants.
Apparently that might be
Capture
a spoiler.
any freighters bearing useful military
the Admiral
supplies. The Emperor has directed
turned
Grand
tail
Admiral
and
Thrawn
joined
to
the
locate
rebels.
Zarin and eliminate him. Zarin hopes to elude justice by escaping into the unknown regions. If he is successful, he will attempt to mass new forces for another attack on the Emperor. This must be prevented. Due to your enormous skill so far displayed, you have been personally selected by Admiral Thrawn to receive the toughest assignments. Whenever our probe and reconnaissance efforts turn up anything useful, you will immediately lead an attack into the area.
I
For
feel
this
like
operation, you will be under the command of
eventually
Captain Kuztin, another
you'd have
hand-picked
to
officer
drudge.
known for his bravery.
You really would have to drudge through a lot of simplistic bad levels before you got to levels that are just about fight, fly around and fighting.
You will
and that's the
continue
only
to
thing
fly
that
the
really
missile boat,
interests me.
thanks to your outstanding performance during your last tour of duty. Your craft remains Missile Boat Mu-1, and you are currently assigned to Imperial-class Star Destroyer Courageous. In addition to the standard load of 40 advanced concussion missiles, your craft's secondary armament has been loaded with 20 heavy rockets. Additionally, your craft has a tractor beam. Remember, the missile boat is still considered experimental. Were it not for the dire circumstances surrounding Zarin's coup attempt, this new weapon would not be risked in combat so soon.
So all this story
Do not allow your
is
craft
obviously
to fall
not
into
canon.
enemy hands.
Like, obviously this didn't happen.
The enemy convoy consists of 3 bulk freighters, protected by an old dreadnought and several T-wings. Former Admiral Zarin still commands a large number of
And I
vessels of several
imagine
types, and may
that-
send any number of them to the rendezvous.
That any number of... Oh, what was I gonna say? I'm losing my thoughts as it's talking. I imagine we're not gonna see a big difference here. This is definitely different looking. But if we get out into space and we actually start seeing giant ships much bigger than what we have been seeing, that seems loud. That would be slightly surprising. But this kind of does look better.
Gunboat tail to move on. I'm a little overwhelmed over here.
Okay, so like R is this way, R is the one you're supposed to do, and everything is here. So this is a T-wing, so we're trying to just get it in the green. So that is a pretty big ship, but not huge. Come on. Let's see if we can actually do this. See, I need to hit enter to match speeds with them. So that I can... Like... These are flying all over the place. And since this was top ace 10, then that probably means all the other top aces were at that specific level. So in X-Wing top ace 4, wow. And I just got shot a couple of times and lost. So yeah, in X-Wing top ace 4 must have been very much the 4th level is completed, so there probably was some new things at the 5th level, and yeah, that would make sense. So the mission goals for the what I assume is the DLC that is integrated into this are pretty high and pretty difficult. 75% of all T-Wings must be destroyed. At least one of all freighters must be captured. Dreadnought Rama must be destroyed. Freighter Furlough 1, 2, and 3 must be inspected. So you're still doing inspections. Nebulon B2 Frigate Strident must be inspected. Shuttle Sigma 1 must be captured. And Dreadnought Rama must be inspected. Interesting. So you would inspect it and then destroy it. Interesting. As a secondary goal. And we're returning to the battle in need of medical assistance. This medical assistance that they're showing here looks really nothing like anything that's shown in the Star Wars universe. Interesting. We've got something. Talk to the cloaked figure. So something unlocked. Interesting. Missile boat mission medium. So
the shuttle will try to dock with each of the freighters, so you can wait until it's completed these operations before worrying about it. The friendly assault gunboats will try to disable it.
So it seems like you turn tail.
Taking down the shuttle shields for them. Be careful you don't destroy it though. If neither assault gunboat Tau nor assault gunboat Nu are successful disabling the enemy craft we're trying to capture, you will have to call for reinforcements. Assault gunboat Rho will then arrive to make another attempt.
Okay. So you have like a split here where you can either be playing for the bad guys or you could be playing for the other bad guys who are trying to make a coup. Let's see. And this one is different.
Engage the slams immediately, and then launch 12 rockets at the dreadnought.
So
as
it
soon
is
as the rockets are
definitely
fired,
different
switch to missiles
instructions.
and take out the T-wings.
Interesting. And so there's a cloaked figure now over here.
Admiral Thrawn needs to locate Zarin quickly. If this convoy is headed for Zarin, there may be an opportunity to capture a ship whose navigation data may reveal his location. Assault Gunboat Group Nu will be dispatched to disable any such craft. Despite your lack of an ion cannon, you can still assist any capture attempts by helping to take out the target shields, but you must also protect the ion cannon-equipped gunboats.
So, I don't understand. Are these guys the traitors at this point? Like, because why would the phrase here be, "How may I serve the Emperor?" Unless this is some claim that the Emperor is not the Emperor. And in this section, there's... Ooh. Well, there's continued battle 11 or change battles. I missed that. Interesting. But let's just switch back here. And I assume I haven't ruined everything by doing that. Oh yeah, so you can do that. And if I click here, there is no robed figure. Surprise, surprise. Okay. So it does put a little bit of a twist in there if you get to that point. I was playing on medium at that point, by the way. Records. Let's see. Didn't seem like anything saved because I probably didn't succeed. Or it could be that these save files are read-only. So the fact that this save file isn't a 100% save file and only goes up to level battle 10 makes me suspect that if there was a battle 11 menu here, which there probably is one that would unlock, you'd start to see maybe 2 medals or 2 collections of secondary missions, or it might say battle 11, one on one side versus battle 11 on another side. Yeah, unfortunately, my love for Star Wars, like I end all of these the same way. My love for Star Wars is just not big enough to make me really want to go through the game as it is. Because the missions are too hard. Now that we've actually gotten to the point on the 5th try to actually be able to play an entire mission, they're too difficult, too easy to lose. They still don't really hold your hands on even the very first level. Like, I understand that battle 11 should be impossible for me to play, but battle 1 shouldn't be. That should be super easy on easy. It should be idiot proof, and it just isn't. So maybe the remaster, like if the remaster doesn't crash, maybe the remaster will actually do something here to make the controls a little bit tighter, give me more time, give me more health, maybe map all the controls to the Xbox One controller so that I'm not having to hunt and peck for different keys on the keyboard to figure out what it is supposed to do. The series has been moderately consistent on the keys, but they are all over the place. They're not all to the left side so that I could have a joystick in my hand on the right side, or vice versa. You really are hunting and pecking for all of that. So you'd have to use a program, I imagine, like Joy2Key to remap certain keyboard buttons to a controller to really play this in any smooth and easy way, which really just means partial controller support. So, well, that's going to be it for the spotlight. It is getting better, but I still really don't want to play this game. It's down to the quality of the levels and the gameplay design now, though. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.